MOBO, low down in lockdown. Robert Bruce right here, back again. Friday nights, you know we go in. You know exactly what we're doing. Shouts going out to Eva. She just locked in, dropped a lot of gems about the modelling industry, being black in the industry. Let me make sure everything's sitting up nice. Everyone, let me see you get in. Let me see everyone get back in. Bex DJ, I see you. Yes, we're back. Tiana, I see you. We're back. We're back. Drop your emojis if you've enjoyed yourself so far. We're about to go back in. Yes, I love that. Strong arm emojis. Is Yinka in? I'm seeing hello Yinka. Let me see if I can find her. There we go. She here. Everyone jumping in. Hey yo!
Hi.
What's going on, Miss Bokinni? Yink Daddy.
Yink Daddy. I just got in my house, like legit.
No way, are you back now?
Yeah, like honestly, I've got like my work clothes underneath. I had to put on something comfy.
How was work today? Guys, if you don't know, this is my colleague Yinka. We both are on the same radio station.
Oh, I bet.
Signal just... And she's actually one of my first friends in the industry like that. Oh, her signal's coming and going. Can you guys see her? I've got the spinning wheel thing. There we go. You're back.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah.
You with me? I was just telling everyone how you're actually one of my first friends in the industry.
I was gonna say, like, you met me, like.
How are you though? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm all right. I have just got back to work after lockdown. I don't know if everyone knows, but I have been on complete and utter shutdown, and just got back on set yesterday and today, and then I've got a shield for another 14 days now. But it's fine.
That's the shield again. No way. So yeah, for people that don't know, you've been doing your show, breakfast show, from home for what, 13 weeks now?
Yeah, 14 weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's coming to 14 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard to
Goodness.
to have enthusiasm about Dining Room FM, you know?
I've got a little bit of a delay, so I'm seeing your mouth move and then sounds coming after.
I'm gonna come off and come back on because my sound is a bit rubbish. So let me come back. Yeah, I'll be back.
All right, cool. All right. She'll be back. Remember, you can get your questions in the question box as well. If you have any questions for Yinka Bokinni, hopefully we'll be shedding some light on the radio industry. And maybe she'll tell you a few of the stories that she's been telling me. Make sure you get your questions in. But why shield them for so long? Because remember, there was a group of vulnerable that couldn't go to work and stuff like that. So like, I've been going into the studio, but I've been driving in, parking up in London. Okay, Yinka's back. It's there we go. Dining Room FM, you know. Yeah, it gets like that. Okay, we're back.
Yes.
We're back. So you've been indoors.
I can explain the shielding thing. I was here.
Okay.
Basically, I am on the list of vulnerable people who is most at risk when it comes to contracting coronavirus. So if I was to get it, then there's a high chance that I would need hospitalization. So that's the reason why I've had to shield for so long and not be around anybody. But I can confirm that it is boring.
Full stop. You know what? When people say like the dream will be to work from home and you're doing one of your dream jobs as well, is it not what it's cracked out to be?
I think that I'm very blessed, and I've said this to you before, but I'm very blessed to be able to do my job from home. Do you know, like, as in, there are so many people who are on furlough, have been made redundant. So, like, I know that like there's no, it's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
But it's not what it's cracked up to be. You know, I'm so used to going to the studio, being like with Shayna, seeing you guys, like being and interacting with people, that under a duvet in my kitchen, it's not sexy, man.
It's not glamorous. But it must be nice to just roll out of bed and be there.
Oh, it's the world's shortest commute, baby boy. Listen, there's been a couple of times I woke up at 6:25.
Don't worry, I won't let our bosses know, man. But for people who don't know, people that are in the live, getting to know you for the first time now, yeah, what is your quick how I got to where I am story?
So I do the breakfast show at Capital Extra. I got here by being at another radio station. I was at Rinse FM before, and I did the breakfast show there, and I wanted to do more. I wanted to like make money as a presenter, and I just applied. I sent my show reel, which is like I cut up loads of different clips of me talking on the radio, and sent them to producer at Capital Extra and producer at One Extra and producer at Kiss, and then it kind of started from there.
So then you transitioned into commercial radio. Was it very different, Rinse to Capital Extra?
Oh, yeah. Like, I remember my first show at Capital Extra and I was shaking like a leaf in a storm, like proper. It was proper mad, but you get used to it. And I think that, you know, when you're on commercial radio, you know this already, Rob, but like when you're on commercial radio, you learn quickly and you have to be good at your job. Like that's to keep your job. You know, there are hundreds of people who would take my job or your job in a heartbeat. So you need to be at the top of your game and be able to do it.
How much have you had to work for free? If you got paid for every free job you've done, how rich would you be?
I'll be a millionaire. Like, I think that when you are doing something that you love, when you are doing something that feeds into your purpose, it isn't always about making money, or like it isn't always about what the paycheck is. It's about what you're doing and why you're doing it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I still work for free till this day, and you know my bride price is high, so like but I still work for free. I still do things for friends or for up and coming like businesses, or for platforms that hopefully I can help out, or even people who just they want like a quick host or whatever. I don't think it's about the money. Of course everyone needs to eat, and like having heating and clothes is nice, but it's not all about the money, I don't think.
No, facts. Definitely about passion as well. And you mentioned like the other stuff that you do, because you're not just a radio presenter. So live hosting, TV, DJing, what else can I put? Writing, the magazine. There things. Yeah, like luckily I'm able to kind of do lots while like radio's the bread and butter, I would say. I think it's the thing that I do every day. It's like a 9 to 5, but for 3.5 hours a day. Yeah.
And then everything else is on top of it. And I enjoy every string to the bow that I'm able to have. And
if you was to walk out of presenting tomorrow, I'm sure there's like a law degree there that you can fall back on.
Yeah, but I mean, it's rusty. Like it's old and dusty now. But yeah, I do have a law degree. Obviously, I'm a big woman, innit? Like I went to uni before the glitz and glam of Capital Extra.
I hear that, man. Now that is definitely cool. So how come you jumped out of education and straight into this side of things? Like, at what point did you know, or was it partway through uni?
I am Nigerian, and any fellow Nigerians who are watching, my dad's Nigerian, and any fellow Nigerians who are watching know that our parents, they care about medicine, about business, and about law. Like, there's little maneuvering in between there.
Like engineering.
So when it came, engineering, but that's a new one. Because they thought that you meant you wanted to be a mechanic before. You had to. So I wanted to do it for my dad. I kind of like, not that I didn't have a choice, because like, my parents are liberal, but like, you know, I was like a smart kid, and the A levels that I did, it just like it afforded me medicine or law, and I ain't trying to be no doctor. So I did it 4 years, and then I graduated, and then started working in a bar. It was
no way. And then that's the transition. But this is the side people don't know, man. That's why I get the luxury of knowing, because we bump into each other in the studio often, and we're friends in real life, as I was saying. But I like bigging up your story, if that makes sense. I like it a lot.
Yeah, you like to embarrass me, though.
No, I don't like to embarrass you. No. I've said all good things so far. And one of the main things you've been working on recently is System magazine. Talk to me about the magazine, how it came about, and what you're trying to do.
Well, I run System_magazine, if you guys want to be nice and give it a follow, with my 2 friends and colleagues from Capital Extra, Remy and Leah. And pretty much, I don't know if you guys have heard of anything, a platform called Refinery 29, but it's like a lifestyle brand for women. And, you know, there's articles, there's like how-tos, there's cool videos. But I just felt like something like that didn't exist for the modern Black woman. I feel like publishing, for me anyway, is, you know, it's kind of like, it's not aimed at us, we're the other. So in creating our own space, I'm able to express my experiences as who I am, and encourage other Black women to express who they are as well, through them contributing to the system, for them writing for us. And it's just a platform that's for the modern day woman who kind of, you know, we always say, like, we know who Stormzy is. You haven't got to say like Stormzy rapper, but also I don't really want to make a TikTok. So it's like that in between age of like 25 to like 35, I think I'd say.
Yeah.
So it's going well though. I think it's going well.
Going really well, especially in the current times that we've had, because more people at home, and we've had lots of topics where we can share our thoughts and opinions on, like starting off with Black Lives Matter. How have you had to navigate that from a radio point of view and from a writing point of view?
I think it's been a difficult is probably the wrong word, but for lack of a better word, I would say it's been difficult simply because, you know, as you know, we are forward facing. So the career that's been afforded to us by God is one that carries a lot of weight in terms of, you know, our personal platforms don't matter, but on the radio, you're speaking to an unlimited amount of people. And once you say something, it's just out there. I think it's really cool that Capital Xtra are cool, but like, I think it's good that Capital Xtra let us, or encouraged us, should I say, to be ourselves when it comes to Black Lives Matter. I think that for me as well, I'm somebody who likes to go out, and I march. You know, I marched in 2016 with Black Lives Matter. I marched in 2017, but obviously because of the coronavirus, I'm not able to leave my house. So that's where the magazine has come into it. I think the online activism that I've been able to like indulge in and been able to be a part of has really enabled me to not feel useless during this time. And especially when we are all spending so much time online and we're all on our phones constantly simply because there's nothing else to do. And, you know, you're reading these horrible stories all the time. You're reading these heartbreaking stories all the time. And you feel a bit useless and you feel like, what can I do about it? And sort of hiring Black women to work on the system, or having an outlet such as Capital Xtra that is a massive platform that I can speak on, is like maybe just like numbing the edge a little bit. I don't, obviously it's not the solution, it's not the remedy, but I think it does help to maybe feel like we are, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
doing something.
Sort of thing. And one thing that's really cool about you, I never really get to tell you to your face, but you're very outspoken. Like, you take the lead on being outspoken, if that makes sense. And it's an inspiring viewpoint to have. Do you ever fear the backlash from that?
You know what, I think I was speaking about this the other day, actually. I think Temi, my friend, is here, and it was her birthday the other day, and we were speaking about it. And I was saying that I definitely am outspoken, and I think I do take the lead to be outspoken. And I think that, you know, I think I've been given a voice. I've been blessed to be articulate and smart enough to speak my truth, and also to weigh things up before I say them. However, I do believe that part of my outspokenness, part of my confidence comes in the color of my skin, in being lighter. So as a Black woman, I think that it's a lot easier for somebody who looks like me to be loud and to be like righteous, and because, you know, of the things that have been afforded to me because of how light I am. So I think that whilst it's a good thing, sometimes it's like you need to check yourself, and you haven't got to be the one that's shouting all the time, because my mum is white. So it's like, you know, sometimes it's like I have to check myself, I mean. Okay.
So do you understand the colorism debate then? Because
I don't think it's a debate. I think it's the truth. I don't think it's a debate. Yeah, I don't think it's a debate. I think that to call it a debate is to diminish the experiences of millions of people. So I think that, but I when I was younger, maybe I didn't get it. Now that I'm older, of course I get it. And I'm wise enough to know the potential problem, or part of the problem that I can play. But I'm also, you know, I do exist, and I do exist in this space. And, you know, I am doing my best every day to learn to be the best type of person I can be that an ally to the women and men who are darker than me, or to exist as a Black person in the way that I experience the world in a place. But I think it comes with like at least trying a bit of humility, at least trying to understand and actually be quiet sometimes, which is why the over talking and out speaking thing can be a bit like just stop, because it's not really about, like, especially with Black Lives Matter. Of course, all Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
If we're speaking specifically about what's happening in the world, it's not my time to get on a box and start shouting. Okay. It's my time to give people the exactly.
Okay. And even in that, have you seen the ignorance of people and companies and stuff? How has that journey been for you, seeing so many people online get it wrong?
Oh, it's difficult. It's difficult because, you know, it's like you're rooting for somebody, or you think that a company's for you. You just now got a haul and the clothes are on the way, and you now have to cancel the company, and you're there with your clothes in a box. I think that, but this is it. Like, you know, sometimes in these type of situations, I think that silence is an option. When a conversation doesn't involve me, you don't see me picking up a mic and now coming to interrupt everybody. And that's kind of, it's like, with especially the resurgence and the cultural shift of the current movement of Black Lives Matter, I think that a lot of people have felt that if they're forced to say something. But my thing is that even if you feel forced, then you are part of the problem, because you shouldn't be forced to stick up for people. And not to point out like specific people or specific brands, but there's been a lot of people that have missed the mark, or a lot of people that I think, oh, so how many people approved this one? And then, you know, it's like, and I don't necessarily think it's the job of Black people to always be correcting everyone. Like, you're already exhausted, and then now, I mean, remember, life is still moving, and then all of this stuff on top, and then you now have to go and educate double. It's too much. I think it's too much.
This is what I've been saying. I feel like some people are tired before the race has even started, because this has been a long marathon that people have only just picked the baton up on. So some people are tired before this next wave's even got going.
I remember there's still Roro, you know, so it's like we're even still inside.
There's
even a pandemic that we're dying at a faster rate. So there's already that, and everything else on top is like, and then I'm on radio talking about Stormzy's trainers. I'm like, oh,
it's tricky, isn't it? It is tricky. As I was saying, like, I've got to see glimpses of your career. What would you say some of your highlights have been, or some of your favorite moments have been along the journey?
I think hands down my favorite moment is meeting Shayna. Like, hands down, without a doubt. Yeah, that is right. That's my dog. Like, Shayna is my G. And a lot of people don't know that we weren't friends before we did the breakfast show. We were friends, but we met in the course of doing the show. So it was like we met and we were kind of practicing and all that sort of stuff. And doing the show with Shayna is like, I couldn't imagine it being anybody else, and God forbid it was alone. So I think that she is definitely like somebody who that I'm so grateful, and I feel like, you know, when something it's just serendipity, it's just meant to be, like, everything aligned. And then now I have this amazing friend, as well as like somebody who I love working with. And, you know, I think if I had to pick it, that's probably my highlight of my career so far. That kind of exists in a public realm, because, you know, I'm filming and things will be out later in the year that are going to be huge, but they don't exist. So it's like, as things that exist, I think that, it's weird that my highlight is a person, but like I adore Shayna. I adore her.
How would you describe Shayna? What's she like in a working capacity?
Oh, she's an idiot. Like, she's like, but she's the best. You know, we're very similar, but we're very different in that I'm like super kind of like forward and like a bit louder.
Okay.
And Shayna's quite understated, and she's very like technical, and she's quite like, do I move this here? Do I go there? And I'm like, yeah, on. We just complement each other well. So we're not like chalk and cheese. It's more like peanut butter and chocolate spread. You know, like, we're both sweet, but they just
the peanut butter
blends well.
Spread, do they blend?
That's a Snickers, brother. It bangs, Robert. It bangs. Trust me, it bangs. It bangs. Yes.
I'm gonna try that.
That's the reason why I can say waste. It's not what waste, it's waste, because that peanut butter and chocolate spread sandwich.
That's the one.
That's a bit of me.
The breakfast show started in September, but then before that, 3 years you're doing the evening show, but you did breakfast before. Is it hard flipping the sleeping patterns?
I'm a morning person, so you know already. Like, it's actually mad because you know me. It's weird you ask me questions. I'm You know the answer. But no, but like the evening show for me was even a little bit of a struggle sometimes because I function at best in the morning. So even when I do things, I do my breakfast show, and then if I go out and do something else, it's like, let's do it now. Let's not wait a few hours. So I'm happy to be back in a routine that feels right for my body. Like I wake up naturally now. Maybe if I missed my alarm, I'd get up at like 6:05. Like that's just the time my body would wake it. You're looking at me like never that.
I was like, impossible. You know, there's been times that I've meant to wake up to send you guys a voice note and I've just slept. Like,
what do you mean times? It was 3 weeks in a row, Robert. I've been there. I know that you haven't.
3
Yeah,
weeks?
you did it this weekend. You haven't heard me in a while. It was like a month, bro.
Hey, no, but there's been some changes in, you know, there's been some different programming. There hasn't been a routine. But don't worry, Ben's on my case, so it's sorted.
I know he is. He's like, Robert hasn't replied, but I'm just going to message him again.
Yeah. I tried to
Poor
give him
Ben.
an excuse. Yeah, I know. I tried to give him an excuse. I was like, oh, yeah, I need to find a system that works. And he was like, yeah, I think you have to put a reminder in your calendar and just do it. Like, that's it.
And that's the way it goes.
Yeah, no, facts, man, facts. No, that is definitely cool. Everything's going crazy online just in this whole, I think over the whole lockdown period, there's just been different things. But one of the main reasons I wanted to talk to you was because right now a lot of people are talking about sexual assault online. And one of your tweets really stuck out to me. It was like, every woman you know has experienced sexual assault in one way, shape or form. Why do you say that? Like, what is the experience and meaning behind that?
That tweet blowing up the way it did was a shock to me as well. Like, because it's got like almost like 30,000 bloody likes. Like, and I thought, oh, so you people could like this, but it's because it's the truth. It's my truth anyway. The people that I know, the women that I know, and I've got 4 sisters, and so I know a lot of women, and that is the God's honest truth. Every single woman I know, and by sexual assault and sexual harassment, I mean anything from the most severe to the most kind of casual, flippant type. You know, I'm not saying that every woman has been violated to an extreme degree, but I'm saying that every woman that I know has had something happen to her that was against her will.
Yeah.
And I think it's a disgusting fact, but it is honestly that's the truth, and that's probably why so many people interact with it, because I'm telling you something that's just a fact. The
experience, yeah. And when I was speaking to Eva before, I was like, I spoke to my sister, and she's like, every woman that's been to a club has experienced someone touching them unsolicited. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, of course, Robert, bruv. It's like, and even me, yeah, I even have a speech prepared for when people approach me, because I'm shook. I'm shook because, you know me, I'm cheeky as well, and I just say whatever I like to say. And then I've seen girls like get drinks thrown at them, abuse. I've seen girls be hit because of the way that they've well, it's not because of the way they've let somebody down, but that's the excuse that we're going to roll with at the moment. And so even me, somebody who is potentially one of the more confident people that you will meet, whenever I'm approached in any type of environment, I've got like a very direct way to respond that's like almost scripted, because I feel like sometimes it feels a bit weak to admit it, but bro, I'm scared. Like I don't want somebody to take what I say the wrong way because I'm not interested in them.
Why scared though? Why'd you say scared?
Because I've seen guys attack girls. Like I've seen it with my own eyes, and I've heard stories of, you know, even just the embarrassment of letting somebody down and then being like, you're not nice anyway. Like even that reaction for me, it's like, I don't know. I like people liking me, innit? I like making people laugh and like, haha, like Yinka's funny. So it's like that is like, I would be thinking about that the whole day. Like, oh, so I did this and that's how he felt. Like, it's just, it's not very nice.
Exactly. What's the response that you talk about, like that scripted almost?
Oh, do you want my speech?
Yeah. What is it?
Okay, so in any kind of scenario, and anyone can use this, it works. Trust me. And I shouldn't have to have this, but I do.
You shouldn't have to have this. Full stop.
I go head on and I say like, I'm not interested, but I'm worried to tell you because I don't know how you're going to react about this, but I'm not. And it's like, I say it in this way, like, and it's like, it's almost as if I have to act like a defenseless, like, kind of like weak person in order for them to know that like I'm not
a threat.
shouting at you.
Yeah.
I'm not a threat. And it's like that, even that, like it makes me, like I wrote an article for the magazine the other day, and I say like it makes me angry that I play up to this and I get mad at myself because it's almost like I am buying into this narrative of like, oh, I'm a woman and you're a man. But like how else do I navigate it when I've seen friends of mine like get slapped in a bar because she's like no, or like a guy's pushed a girl because she's rejected his advances. So I know that what I do isn't the right answer, but I don't know where that is. I don't know where the right answer is.
And why do you think we've got to the point that you have to have this response, if that makes sense? Like, where has everything gone wrong? Because that you shouldn't have to.
Well, I think,
you know.
No, I know, and I don't even go out. You know, I don't go out. Like I stay in my house, because I can't be bothered. Like I genuinely like when I say I can't be bothered, I don't mean that like I mean like I can't be bothered for the aggro that comes with it. Yeah. And my honest belief is that it's education, and it happens that when we are younger, because I remember being young, like 14, 15, and going to like a house party, like a shubs. Mm-hmm. And like I was like scrawny, I like I didn't blossom, like it wasn't popping for Yinka. Yeah. I think that's probably why I'm funny, because like as a kid I was not like honestly nah. Like people be like, no, your personality is your best asset, and that's not a compliment, bruv. But like but anyway, so when you're at a shubs, at a house party, and you are 15, 14. And if you're not grabbed and danced with by guys, you feel butters. Like if guys don't, like, and this is my experience of being younger. I'm not saying that it's everybody's experience, but my experience of being young is that I'm 14, 15, 13, 16, whatever, like a teenager at a house party, and the guys don't grab your bum. No one grabs you. No one's pulling you. No one wants you. So you're the butters friend. Yeah. Like me, I was the butters friend. I was scrawny. Nobody wanted me. And then it's kind of like that instills something in me anyway that I had to unlearn because, and again, this is me personally, like I'm not accusing anybody of being as naive as I was. But so when I was 16, 17, 18, this interaction, guys, yo, on the road, I'm like, oh, I look nice today. Like it's almost like, it's like a positive reinforcement for something that is actually sexual harassment. Mm-hmm. So when you're in a dance and someone grabs you, like I remember reading an article like back in the day about, if you go out and no man tries to chat you up, it's an unsuccessful night. Like even if you look at like the Geordie Shores or the this or the that, it's like the guy has always got to be like the lion that's ready to pounce. Yeah, and then you are just the prey, ripe for the picking. Mm-hmm. You're there, a fruit ready to be plucked. And it's like that's the mentality that I've had to unlearn because, and I don't even know if it's like I think it's like a society thing. So it's like at home, when boys are pushing girls over and pulling up their skirts in the playground, mm-hmm. to now being in secondary school where guys are running around, unclipping girls' bras and like, like all this stuff lends us to now we're in 2020, and the world is on fire because mm-hmm. every woman is coming out saying that this horrible stuff has happened to me, and I think it stems back to almost wanting this stuff to happen to you as a teenager as some sort of validation, like, oh, I'm desirable. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm rambling, if I'm explaining it properly.
No, it makes 100% sense. And then even say from my perspective, it's like the popular boys were the forward ones, if that makes sense. And it's like the master man, the alpha man was the one to move like that. But even in mm-hmm. school, we're young. Like that shouldn't even be on our minds.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? And I was
saying, but then like for instance, but Robert, sorry to interrupt you, but I like in my school, I didn't get taught sex education. I didn't have that class.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There was no like relationship. And it's not like gender roles. I mean like what's acceptable, like what is consent. That's mm-hmm. why I got to big up Aloni because she does like the consent classes in schools. Like these sort of things are so valuable, and they're missed out so that we can now learn that Winston Churchill apparently wasn't a dickhead. Like it's like.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, it's not practical at all. And I'll say that even on the flip side, the conversations I've been having with guys since all of the outspokenness online is, a lot of mm-hmm. guys feel almost scared. It's like, oh, did I overstep the mark when I was being persistent. Do you know what I mean? Because I honestly feel some guys are not taught about, is it coercion?
Coercion, yeah.
Coercion, yeah. Some guys are not taught about coercion, and coercion is trying to break a girl down, which
yeah, so like no means try harder.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Where you're taking their no as playing hard to get. And I'll ask you the same question. Do you think there's a line where people know, or do you think people cross the line and they don't even know sometimes? Or do you think they always know?
I don't know, because I'm not privy to every discussion or every experience. I can say from my own perspective and from the conversations that I've, like, you know, I'm a girl's girl. Like, my friends are women. You know this already. Like, I am around women. Yeah. So we have always had conversations around like consent and kind of like bodies and sex and stuff like that. And I would say that there comes a point, and sorry, this common sense here. If every single girl that you're now going to sleep with, has said no 7 times before, then you need to fix up. Like, it's like, but I don't know if it's after the fact. I don't know if it's during. But I don't want to give people the benefit of the doubt to be like, oh, maybe he got carried away, because I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
I believe that maybe we need to teach each other that you need to believe women when they speak. Like, and I mean believe women when they tell you what's happened to them. And I also think that you need to believe women when they are talking to you and telling you, I don't want this, or I don't want that. I think that when I say I believe women, I don't just mean when after the fact they now come out and tell horrific stories. I mean, I want you to believe women when she says maybe not at the moment. I want you to believe women when she says that she's not interested. Like, if we all just believe women, and of course men as well, but speaking specifically on this topic, I think it's down to not being taught that a woman's voice is valuable, of what she says is important.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I stand on that. But I kind of, where I am at the moment, I don't want to believe that every single guy who's coerced a girl has known what he's doing, because then it's like, is there hope for the world?
Yeah,
but I think that a lot of people probably do know what they're doing, and maybe in breaking someone down, they don't realize what that is legally labeled as. Remember, I know these things. Like, they're actually instilled in my brain from months and years of research and revising.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe I'm better equipped to know, to speak plainly.
Yeah.
Because legally I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. And even from our perspective, it's very interesting where you, in your article that I listened to and read, you described how people can flirt with you in a work sort of aspect, environment. And obviously me coming into the industry, it's like, everyone loves Yinka, but when I come in, the vibe is different. And I'm like, I never knew I never knew that vibe.
You know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You know,
like, and I think it's like,
times I didn't know that was what that was until you put it so plainly in your article. How do you feel as a presenter faced with these things?
Well, first of all, I feel like presenters, women, get a really bad rap. Like, bro, go on YouTube and look at any video that I've done for Capital Xtra and look at the comments about me. Like, leave me alone, man. I'm just a person at work. Like, I'm just a person at work. That's what I am. And it's like, first of all, you worry, because I want to use my linguistic skills and my articulation and my diction to be able to make a living. Like, fundamentally, I'm at work, but then I'm like, oh shoot, there's cameras, so let me now put on some concealer. So then I'm trying to look nice for this interview. Then I'm like, oh, who is it that I'm interviewing? Are they going to be interested? Like, all this stuff is going through your mind. You go through the job, it goes on YouTube, and then these devils in the comments are just ripping you apart. And I feel like it happens. No, I don't feel like. I know it happens to women a lot more than it happens to men. I know it does, because I look at your comments, I look at Manny's comments, and then me and Shayna, bye, George. I'm just like, and it's like, when I spoke about being flirted with on radio, I'm not saying that a harmless flirt is the problem. But what I'm saying is that, imagine now, if you're a rapper and you're like, you can see after the show. If I don't laugh, do you know how stone cold silent that room is? And, Robert, it's all over. And as you know, Robert, that room is full of 10 people. It's not just me and the person there. It's everybody there. So now I've got to be like, ah, ha, 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 only if you let me in. Like, I've got to try and think of a witty response. But then now I'm sweating because I'm here. Like, first of all, it's like I have no interest in any of the extracurricular activities that are being discussed. But secondly, I'm like, this is the language. This is the nature of the language that I'm having to use. And I'm such a friendly person, especially at work. Like, you know, I love getting to know people. Part of the reason why I even do this is because I actually just love speaking to people. And sometimes I'm like, I wish I didn't have to go down the, oh yeah, come and see me after the show. Because I'm just like, brother, I'm not interested. Like, it's just, and Robert, I've been called a diva. I've been called stuck up. Like people will say horrible things about me, and it's because I'll be at a festival and the room will be full, and I don't want to sit on someone's lap, so I'll stand up. I'll just sit down. I'm like, no, I'm calm. All right, diva. I'm like, So because I don't want to sit on knees. It's that sort of stuff. It's that sort of treatment of somebody, and especially like when people do find out that I am in a very long-term relationship and, you know, he's sleeping next door, like all of a sudden I'm not interested. Like all of a sudden the rappers will unfollow me on Instagram.
Really?
All of a sudden,
like that.
Yeah. And like all of a sudden, no one wants to like sit and talk to me. Like it's like I almost become a leper because I'm in a relationship. And it's like, why is like what happens in my private life and my personal relationships, why is my work dependent on that? Why can't I just go to work, bust joke with Shayna, interview H, he's lovely, and go home?
Yeah. It's so interesting. It's so interesting to hear from your perspective because I get to see it as well.
But you see it, you're there, and it's like, and like just to put it out there, Robert's not in the room when people are trying to abuse me. Like, don't stress. Like, but I mean, you see me
taken and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like,
yeah,
and it's like, and I'm not, and this isn't me like bad mouthing, like my workplace. It's me expressing what it's like in the environment to what it's like to work in this environment. I find it so ridiculous that I just think, you know, like even people are. I can't believe that you're shocked. I can't believe that people are shocked.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. No, but it is shocking because a lot of just the way society is, as you said, 2020, everything's just blowing up because we've lived with so many social norms for so long. And I feel like everyone being at home and not being at work, you've had the time to step back and really assess, wait, that's not actually normal. Do you know what I mean? From Black Lives Matter to people speaking out about their sexual assault experiences as well.
I wish that I don't know, it's like, not that I'm not brave, I do think I'm brave, but like when I look at people, you know, like Ray and just people who are coming out and being like, listen, this person did this to me, yeah, I think like that for me is like the strength and the shock factor that is maybe needed to jolt all of us out of this like ridiculous situation that and when I say we, I just mean society has that created. Because, you know, as a woman, yeah, I just need you to understand that like when I leave my house every day, yeah, like I'm looking around, I'm making sure, like when I sit, like you'll be on the bus as a woman and a guy will come and sit next to you and you're there like you can't even just be alone. Like the other day I was sitting outside my house just on the pavement because obviously I've been distancing, so I was sitting on the pavement and I got approached by like 6 different guys. And I'm just sitting there listening to murder podcasts. That's what I'm doing, sitting on the road, in a tracksuit, just sitting on the road. Oh, you're right, love. I'm fine. I'm fine. And it's that sort of thing of like, and as a woman, it's like you have to change your behavior around certain types of people. So it's like, you know, when I'm in a club, I'm dancing, but then I'm not going to go toilet by myself. And I think you've seen this with me. Like when we're out, I'll make sure that all my friends are with me because especially when you're recognizable, you know, I do try to be friendly and I do try to like say hello to everyone or whatever, but it's the pulling of me when I'm alone in a club. Like I've been like in the curtain, for instance, it's got like, you know, quite like dark crevices.
Yeah.
And I'll be walking from like the club to the toilet and someone will be like, yo, Yinka, they'll pull me and then like they're grabbing me. And I'm like, who is this in the dark? It's like that sort of thing. And then walking home at night as a woman. And then now like you answer your phone, somebody's doing disgusting things on the other side of the phone. You'll be online in my DMs. You know the disgusting things that people are saying to me in my DMs. Then on YouTube, the comments on YouTube, it's like you can't actually escape from all of it or anything.
Yeah.
And the way that I see it is that I am not by any means saying that every man is a sexual deviant or every man is a sexual harasser or assaulter. But if every woman I know has been sexually harassed and sexually assaulted,
that's your reality.
Who's doing it then?
Yeah.
Who's doing it if it's not this person or this person? It's
that's your reality.
Like even now the comments in this chat, if you scroll through the comments, you'll see about the way that I look, or you'll see people asking about like who I'm dating, and it's like, it's not like, bro, allow it, please.
It's almost like you're not allowed to just exist and do your
No,
thing.
you can't. It's always on certain terms. Like, I'm allowed to interview people as long as I look nice, or I'm allowed to be on TV as long as I fit in this box and like I'm not bigger than a size 10, or like I'm allowed to do this and it's like I'm actually just like a smart person who enjoys conversation.
Yeah. So how do you survive then? Like, how have you survived and made it so far?
It's about being private, Robert, baby. You know this, man. It's about being private. Like, I think that I actually think, I know that like you're meant to be like super humble and stuff, but I'm a G, when it comes to like keeping my life separate, because I think that, my family, I kind of post my brothers and sisters in that, but like my family, even my friends, my relationship, I like to keep them with me. Like that's important to me. And even like people may not even know how close you and I are, and the fact that we speak every day. People may, and they'll be forgiven for not knowing, but it's not their business.
Yeah.
And that's the way separation is key. The same way that, if you work in Tesco, if you work in an office, if you work driving, if you work everywhere, the second you leave the shop or the office or the car and you go in your house, the day is finished. That's the way I try to be. So like, I try to limit myself in terms of what I share. First of all, people are inner, Like I might put and I'll accidentally put Alex's elbow in something, and then people are zooming in. Like it's like, allow it. And it's sort of thing as well is that I don't need people to know where I am. I don't need people to know, how many friends I've got or what they got me for my birthday or anything like that. So it's like, I think having the confidence to remain private about certain things. It's just like you and Cara as well, though. It's like we know that you're together, but I don't know when you saw her last. Like it's like, it's not my business.
It's so interesting because
I think
at first we didn't post each other on our socials and stuff. And the first
I remember when you started, brother. I remember that.
You remember, the first time I did it, the most likes I've ever got on Instagram. Like my pictures with her are what people find the most interesting. I feel as people were just so naturally nosy, if that makes sense. But in the flip side, like it doesn't matter. We should just be able to exist at work and keep everything private. But then
completely.
Also, the online has sort of taken down that barrier because everyone wants to know everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like once you're out here in this sort of public space, and everyone almost thinks it's their right to know everything. But we have to sort of.
And you know what? Yeah. Listen, guys. One day you will buck up on me on the road, with my 5-year-old and a newborn, and you'll be like, I didn't even know that you had a man. It's not for you. It's not for you.
Let me see. If you guys got questions, put them in the comment box right now. I've got one here. Let me get that in. Who is your role model?
Judge Judy.
Why?
Because I think she's a G. Like, I think she's such a G. Who do you know, that's been on TV, for 30 years? Who do you know? And she's unproblematic. She's just got her dogs. I also look up to, apart from like Judge Judy, I look up to people who are my peers who I think are amazing. Mm-hmm. People like I look up to people like Ramel. I look up to people like Clara, I look up to people like, I'm even thinking, like, I even look up to people like you and like Will and Manny, people who are existing in their truth. Mm-hmm. I try to surround myself with people who I admire and people that I want to aspire to be like, some people have this mentality of, you only have winners around you and like all this sort of stuff. Yeah. Like for me, it's like, I don't mind being the loser and I can try and aspire to be like everybody. I look up to, Leah for being like a beautiful person. I look up to like my big sister, who's the nicest person that I know. I don't really like covet like fame or attention or anything like that. I wouldn't mind being stinking rich, but like apart from that, But yeah, I think I look up to just, you know, women and men who are living.
Yeah.
You know, I look up to like the guy on the road that I grew up on. This man's had a shop for 35 years. Like, that's a business guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, yeah, I said that, you know, that sort of
yeah.
thing.
It
That's
doesn't,
it.
basically, it doesn't have to be. A lot of people look up to stars and popular
Like
people.
Beyonce and
Yeah,
like,
but there's
but
so
of course
much
they're amazing
inspiration
too.
around you. Literally.
Exactly.
And you guys wouldn't know, honestly, if it wasn't for Yinka, I could have got lost in this source. Because I started on Xtra when I was 22. That's like 3 years
Baby
ago.
boy.
You know what I mean? You know how many conversations I've had with you where you could probably see the confusion in my face, like, right, is this how it works? Like, how do I do this career? Like, am I meant to do this? Am I meant to go to every event and do this and that? And you've honestly helped me try to stay on the straight and narrow, man.
Oh, that makes me smile.
Do you remember your first meetings with me? Do you remember what your first?
Yeah, I remember you just kept asking bare questions all the time. Oh my God. I thought this guy's a spy.
That sounds.
And then I realized, it took me a month to realize that you were just nervous. But like, at first I was like, why does he want to know so much? Get out of here.
Yeah.
And then I fell in love, obviously, Robert. You know I love you.
I hear you. Let me get into these questions. Would you ever write a book? You are inspiring. That's lovely.
Oh, thank you. I don't know. I think I prefer to read books. You know, to be honest, yeah, hardly anyone is as interesting as they think they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is why not everyone needs to have a podcast. I don't know. I think maybe when I'm older, when I've experienced life a little bit more, you know, I write articles now.
Yeah.
I guess I could turn those into a book.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have any plans of writing anything. But you know, they say everyone's got one book in them.
Yeah. Very true. Let me get into another one. What inspired System Magazine?
Oh, I said this before. You mustn't have been here. It's just that I wanted a place that was aimed and targeted towards the modern day Black woman. I feel like a lot of publishing, a lot of publications, a lot of magazines, we are the other, and we're not really considered in terms of being the focal point. And I wanted it to be not like a FUBU. I don't mean only for Black people, but yeah, but I mean like just something that, you know, you can open it and see stories that you can resonate with, experience that are similar to your own, and voices that don't necessarily get a platform or get like a soapbox, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we accept contributions. That's why I started it with my friends, and I think that hopefully it will grow and it will be bigger and better.
People are being paid, right?
Oh, hell yeah. Listen, I'm not this person, who asks, but yeah, I pay Black women. No, I'm not asking people to do that for free. It's not a lot. Like it's just a token.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I was talking to Remy about it the other day, and because obviously she does it with me,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, so how do we pay people? And I was like, I pay them.
Yeah.
Like, with your own money. I was like, of course I do. I just think that if you're gonna use somebody's words, somebody's experiences, somebody's work to elevate yourself in any way, you need to value the person that's doing it. And you know, I would never ask anybody to do anything for me for free. And I want to also start the system as we mean to go on.
Okay.
So yeah, a little change.
A little change there. Let me see. If it wasn't for work, would you stay off socials?
You people would never see me. You wouldn't see me. No. Yeah, like I think that you know this, innit? Like I'm not like, and it's mad because please like the hashtag ads. I want to buy a hashtag house, you know, them one. But like, I like it sometimes, and then it gets very overwhelming very quickly, especially for somebody like me who is so outspoken and who has so much to say. It's like sometimes having so many opinions and so many people's words and statuses and photos and videos and progress pictures and meals, and it's like it's actually, you know, it gives me a headache, and you know I get very consumed by things, so I would definitely not be active. And my boyfriend doesn't use social media, so he thinks I'm mad. I try to get him to take a picture of me, he doesn't even do it properly. It's annoying.
That sounds like a cool life, boy. Let me see. Any advice for the young generation that want to get into presenting or do fashion or industry? Are you in the fashion industry?
No, I mean, I like to think I'm a fashion icon, but this Primark t-shirt that's 7 years old might tell you something different.
Yeah. So present. That's right.
I advise for anybody who wants to do anything. The only thing that I will tell you, because me, I don't follow advice, but do it. Just begin. Because Channel 4 are not going to knock and now ask you to do a show. Calvin Klein is not going to be like, oh, do you know what? We actually need a new model. Do you want to, in your DMs? So it's like, even if you look at somebody like Eva and somebody like Lady Leisha, who you had on the live before, they just started doing it. And then people eventually catch up. Like, if you're good at your job, if you have a talent, if you are passionate, eventually time will always tell, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to start a podcast, start a podcast. If you want to be a DJ, start mixing. If you want to be a comedian, be funny. You want to be a presenter, start going on the road, obviously, socially distanced, but then chat to people and stick it on YouTube. That you have to just begin because, you know, if anything that anyone's learned throughout all this time is that life is moving and like it's not even as long as you may think it is.
Yeah.
So you need to just begin.
Facts. No, good advice. Kanye said, "Thank you for looking after Rob. What advice has he listened to? What advice?"
Rob listens to everything that I say. I told you that everybody's mad.
Yeah.
And you know everyone's
that was the
mad.
first one. Everybody's mad.
Don't even stress because they're all mad anyway, so it's fine. I told you that that you shouldn't worry about what the artists think of you because everybody's there to do a job. So like I think that a lot of artists who might be new may not realize that when they come into Capital Xtra, for instance, that you are at work and they are also at work. They need to sell themselves and you need to now be able to market them. And some people come in and they're like, yeah, and you're like, brother, please.
I'm here for you.
And I think.
Yeah,
and I think the thing is, I'm not your mum, innit, Robert? Like, I feel like we're mates, and you've helped me as well because you keep me, like, because I go off and start, rah, 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 and Robert's like, it's fine, just take a moment, it's fine.
It's true. No, that's nice, man. That is true. No, those advice I've definitely taken on board. Let me see if I can find something that's not the same that we've had before. One thing you said that's interesting though is just do it, and you've done that with your murder stories on YouTube. What's your YouTube career? Explain that briefly.
Oh, it's not. It's just a hobby. It's just a hobby. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's asked me to do it. Nobody was like, hey, do you know what's missing? Yinka talking about murder on YouTube. It's not. No one said that. It's just like, for me, I feel compelled to do things sometimes. Like I felt compelled to start Sister Magazine. I felt compelled to even attempt to be on TV, you know, like, and these things have worked out well for me. And with the crime stories, I literally just, I love true crime. And I don't mean that like I love serial killers or anything like that, but I just find it so fascinating, the things that humans do. Yeah. So, and I consume a lot of true crime, be it documentaries or podcasts or even books. And I noticed that there weren't any, it's like, it's a man's world. Yeah. And it's also a white man's world. And there are a couple of female true crime podcasts, and I think I know one that has like one person of color in it. Yeah, so it's not a black woman. But and I just thought, well, there's not like I want to do it. Like, why can't I do it? They don't own the monopoly on it. And even like, you know, in my old age, I would love to be on the Crime and Investigation channel. Like I want to, like, the sleepy town of Dorset was awoken. I want to be that person. Yeah. And it's like, because it's all just old white men. It's all, and I feel like I'm allowed to like things. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah, no. So yeah.
There's a lot going on. Radio, the magazine, YouTube, presenting. Yinka's been at work the whole day today. I know because I went early and left before she came, and she's been there like this whole time. So
yeah, it was like 8 hours today.
It was long, but did you get everything done?
Oh yeah, it's all finished. It's all finished. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it. It's really weird.
Either, because I didn't put up anything. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it. I know it's out there. Well, you'll see it. People will see. People will see. People will see. I want to let you go, but before you go, you've given lots of advice so far. But one piece of advice for the world right now.
Read the room.
Okay.
That is what I tell people. I think that it's very easy to want to react to everything. I think that it's very easy to want to be at the forefront of any type of movement, to not want to be seen as though you are being silent. I think it's very easy to even be kind of jeered or swayed into speaking But I think that a lot of people don't realize the power and the importance of consideration.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely think that, like, for me, I would rather take a second and, like, you know, like the whole never reply when you're angry sort of thing. Like, just take a second and really scope what's happening and then act on in an informed way. I think that, especially, like, you know, in the current climate with, like, be it, I don't know, historic tweets,
Mm-hmm.
or be it, like, you know, this cancel culture, or the sexual harassment issue that is currently being discussed online. I think it's very easy to, like, just pop off.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, yeah, it's that being considered is extremely underrated.
Okay.
And even though I know it might seem like I'm always shouting, and it might seem like I'm always like, no, like, blah, 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 all this sort of stuff, and I might get a bit handsy, I genuinely take time and just think, all right, like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
And how do I react accordingly? Especially in a world where, you know, one wrong, I'm not saying like one wrong tweet can get you cancelled, but, like, it's that in a world where people are so sensitive and people are so easily triggered,
Mm-hmm.
I think that we can all afford to just take a second and think, do I need to say this?
Okay. Yeah. Facts. Simple. Play this simple. Yink Daddy. Guys, drop your claps, drop your emojis. Thank you very much. You must be knackered, man. Honestly.
Wait, listen, my food is sitting there looking at me. Even that, the shitter is, even the oil is leaking.
That needs the microwave still. I can't even lie. That needs the microwave. All right, then, cool. Well, we'll probably chat soon. If not, like...
Yeah, I'm going to text you in a second.
Exactly. Thank you very much, guys. Yinka, let me lock you off here. Cheers, Vince. Thank you.
Yeah, love you long time.
Yeah, cheers, bro. See you. MOBO lowdown and lockdown. Look, you can see here, it's gone from light to dark. Friday nights, we are in. Today, you had 3 amazing women in different industries, black women as well, all sharing their experiences and being very open and honest. And I feel like we need to have more conversations like this, where we talk to hear and understand rather than talking just to get our words off as well. So thank you everyone for tuning in. MOBO Lowdown and Lockdown. This was episode 8. All the episodes are going to be up on YouTube as well. Yep, the live will be saved. Head to the MOBO YouTube. Everything's up. We've had some great conversations. And even as lockdown's starting to be eased and stuff, I really want to continue this further, wherever we may take it from then. So that works with your support, your feedback. Let us know how you feel about everything's going. And thank you very much for locking in. MOBO Lowdown and Lockdown. We're back same time next week.